afternoon, everyone. For those of you who don't know, my name is Maya Karen. I run a fashion blog called Classically Kept. It does feature luxury, contemporary, and how-to style. So if you are into that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you will never miss a video. So today's video is just a little bit different. It is about hair. Besides fashion, one of my passions is hair. More specifically, natural hair. I love when Black women are able to embrace their natural hair. That is nothing to say about women who are relaxed, just as long as it's your choice and it makes you feel beautiful. So, like I told y'all before, the first video that we did some deep conditioning. Then the second video that we did, which y'all saw, took at least 5 or 6 hours. We straightened it. So now you can see my hair is bumped. I'm feeling really glamorous. So now today I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my story as far as my hair is concerned and where we are here in 2020. So first, let's get 2 things out of the way. The first thing we're going to do is just kind of like a really impromptu length check. So let's go ahead and do that first. Okay, so let's just do this piece right here, which is the side, and here is my waist, or right where this thingy is, right here. And then the back, which again, here's my waist. So right here, it's like right on top of my butt. So, yep. Okay, and then the other thing that I want to address, and I don't know if it's an elephant in the room because I haven't gotten this question recently, but I typically get it when my hair is straight. I am not mixed, I am not biracial, I'm not a mulatto, I'm not a coolie. Whatever it is the term that you use or that you go by, I am 100% Black, and I am very proud of that. My mother is Jamaican, my father is African American. He was born in Virginia. I'm not Native American, I'm not Indian, I'm not Asian, I'm not half Spanish. I'm Black. 100%. And the reason why I say that is because there is this misconception, especially when it comes to Black women, and I guess the darker their skin is, the shorter their hair is supposed to be. And I'm going to show you through my story that that's not true. You can grow your hair as long as you want it to. So I just want to give you a little bit of a backstory as to how my hair became relaxed, because it was not my mother. So I will pop up 2 pictures here as I'm talking. When I was little, my mother, when it came to my skin complexion and when it came to my hair, she always wanted me to know that I was beautiful exactly as the man upstairs made me. My hair was not relaxed. My mother would sit down, I would probably say anywhere from 1 to 2 times a week, as you can see with the braids, and she would do my hair. She would comb my hair. The only thing that we would really go to a hairdresser for was for a trim. That was it. She would trim my hair, and then we would go right back to the braids. My father had a sister. I will not name her. She always used to ask my mother, well, when are you going to get her hair done, or what are you going to do with her hair? And my mother was very adamant. She said, my child's hair is done. It's beautiful the way it is. Do not touch my child's hair. My mother goes out of town one weekend. I would say I was anywhere between, let's just say I was 10. Let's just say I was 10. My mother goes out of town, and this same aunt takes me to the hairdresser. She relaxes my hair. Did not consult my mother, did not tell my mother, didn't even ask. And she did it while she was out of town. So needless to say, when my mother came back, it was not a very good homecoming. So at this time, since my hair is relaxed, it's not really much you can do except just cutting it off. And my mother wasn't really going to do that. So she just took care of it how she knew and how we had always been doing. So now I'm going to start showing you like pictures of elementary school. So first, let me show you a picture of when my hair was relaxed, because it was in braids. She always kept it in braids. That was the easiest way. She would change out like little baubles and beads and things like that. And as you can see, it's pretty long, and we all know natural hair does shrink. So my hair was pretty long. So now I'm going to pop up a picture of, again, this is an elementary school. We're not even talking high school. This is an elementary school. And you can see just by my ponytail that my hair is getting shorter. It's also getting thinner, okay? So now let's go ahead and move on to high school. And when you're in high school, it's not, or at least when I was in high school, it's not okay to be different. And what I mean by that is you have to follow the masses. If you want to be popular, you do what's in. Now, like I said before, my hair was already relaxed. So when I was in high school, what was in? Long, straight hair. So I would probably say Monday through Friday, if not at least 3 times a week, I was using a curling iron. Flat irons were not something that I was introduced to, and my mother never used one, so I did not use them. So in high school, I would say a good, maybe even every day at some point, I was curling my hair, whether it be all the way through or whether it be just bumping the ends. And I will go ahead and put up some pictures of high school. And as you can see, my hair is getting shorter and shorter and thinner and thinner. But again, you want to be popular in high school. You want to fit in. You don't want to be that girl with, the big hair or the weird hair. So high school was really just, it was simply that. It was just perming, relaxing, and bumping the ends. Now, I will say this as far as the hairdresser and relaxing is concerned. I know some people used to get their relaxers anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. My mother would take me every 2 months. And in between that time, I was taking care of my hair. So we went to the hairdresser for one purpose, and that was just to get the relaxer, and then we would maintain at home. But because I didn't know, my hair or have to take care of it, and I wanted to be like everybody else, I wanted, at that point in time, I wanted to be pretty or feel pretty like everyone else. I was just taking heat to it. Graduated, went to school, went to college, and in college, I was very busy. I was a biology major, so I had a full course load every single time. And again, I wanted to be like everybody else, so I was continuously using the curling iron. It wasn't until December 22nd, 2010, which is the day after my birthday, that is my hairversary. I will never forget this day because I was sitting at my desk, it was raining, and I wasn't in tears, but I was sad because I needed a relaxer. I was 6 hours away from home. I didn't trust anybody. I had heard so many horror stories, but my hair was just getting thinner and thinner and shorter and shorter. And I didn't want to be bald, and that's just being honest. I didn't want to be bald. And one of my pet peeves, I know it's terrible, but one of my pet peeves is no edges. And I just saw like my edges were disappearing. And I was like, okay, what can I do to combat this? So it was on that day that I decided, you know what? I'm not getting any more relaxers. And this is when like YouTube was still fairly new and when people were starting to actually upload video content. I started looking and doing all types of research. And I said, you know what? I knew my hair was relaxed, but I didn't know that I could go back natural. My father had never spoken about it. My mother had never spoken about it. There was really no conversation. So I was thinking to myself, I said, okay, I'm going natural. I said, this is it. That was my last relaxer. I'm going natural. And at the time, my mother was actually diagnosed with breast cancer. So, we had to shave her head, and she was natural. So I call her, I think it was like a week later because I had been doing my research. So I call her and she embraced it. She was like, I think that is a wonderful idea. She said, and this is when I found out that she was not the one that relaxed my hair. Because when I was little, I didn't know. I just thought my aunt was taking me to the hairdresser, just for like a girl's day. So that's when she told me. I was actually quite mad. I was quite mad because you made a decision for, number one, someone who was not your child. And number two, that really could have been like deemed as like an assault on someone. I was upset, but I said, okay, that's fine. I think at the time I was 19. So I said, you know what? I'm an adult. I would start taking care of my hair. I did my research. So my mother embraced it. My father was a little bit of a different story. My father grew up in Martinsville, Virginia. He is one of 12. All of his sisters and his mother, they all had relaxers. They all had long hair. It's probably comes to maybe about like right here. It was relaxed. He didn't understand. He thought that because my mother was Jamaican and she was natural and we were so close, he thought that I was getting ready to go into my rebellion stage, which I never really went through. But he thought that that's what this is. And I kind of told him, I said, well, Daddy, I was calling you to let you know. I wasn't calling you for your permission. This is a decision that I had made for myself. And that was kind of like the first time that not necessarily I had defied my father, but it was a decision that I had made, and I was just giving him a heads up because I didn't want to come to his house and my hair looked very different. So it was just a heads up. I had family members who were like, oh, okay, so you're going to do the lazy thing. I'm here to tell you that being natural is nothing of the sort. Being natural has nothing to do with being lazy. All of my friends were like, well, we didn't really know that you had a relaxer. So that was that. I would probably say, because I did not big chop. That's another thing. I didn't do the big chop. I was not that gung-ho about it, because I just couldn't see myself with the TWA, which is a teeny weeny afro. I couldn't see myself. So what I did was I just started wetting my hair at night, and I would use like a little bit of moisturizer and some oil and some water, and I would just start braiding my hair at night, and then I would take it out, and then I would just wear it in a bun. Luckily for me, my demarcation point, and for those of you who don't know, the demarcation point is the point, it's the meeting point of your relaxed hair and then of your natural hair. Luckily for me, when my hair was braided and I took it out, the demarcation point was somewhat similar. So my textures were similar when I actually wet my hair and then I took it out. So I wore it back in a bun probably for a good, I would say anywhere from 3 to 8 months. So then I go home, we're on college break. I go home and I'm standing in the mirror again, and I'm like, you know what? This is not working. The demarcation point was getting harder and harder to work with, and my hair was at the bottom where the relaxed ends were. It was getting thinner, it was falling off. I just took scissors to my hair. And I was standing in the bathroom, I took scissors to my hair, and at this point I would say my hair was like right here, which was the shortest my hair had ever been. But after I cut my hair, there was a smile on my face. It was short-lived because my mother was like, okay, well, we're getting ready to go out. We're getting ready to go to the grocery store. I was like, oh my God, what do I do? I just wet my hair and I threw it back in a bun. So let's fast forward. I would probably say about a good year. My hair is growing, it's thriving. And this is when I was introduced to mini twists. And this is how I probably wore it a lot through college. So I wore mini twists. I would say, again, because I've been doing it now for, I would say, a good 5 years. I stopped and then I came back to doing mini twists now, which is how I was able to get to the length that I am at now. Now I did have 2 setbacks. The very first setback, I had graduated. It's probably about, I would say, 2015. I was on an assignment in Philadelphia. And this is one of the main reasons why I do not let people touch my hair. Every single thing you see about my hair, I do it. Very seldom do I actually go to a hairdresser and actually get my hair done. So I was in Pennsylvania for my birthday. I wanted to get my hair straightened just to kind of celebrate and see my progress. I go, I start looking things up online. I start looking at reviews and things like that. So I set my appointment and I go. Immediately, there were several red flags, which, a lot of times we don't pay attention to, but you should. So my hair was in twists. I took them out and then I sit in the woman's chair. She takes just a regular comb and she just starts going to town. That was the number 1 red flag, and I should have gotten up right then. But at this point in time, when it came to my hair and when it came to myself, I wasn't really speaking up. For those of you who don't know, especially when it comes to natural hair, especially when you first take it out of twist, you don't just take a regular comb at that, and just start going to town. You can't do that. Number 1, you will make the hair tangle even more, and then number 2, you will pull out unnecessary hair, like hair that's not shedded. You're literally pulling hair out. Okay, so she starts doing that, and after about a good 10 minutes, she realizes it's not working. She walks over to the manager, and I don't know if she didn't think that I couldn't hear her, but she goes over there and she says, I can't do this. The manager was like, what do you mean? She was like, I can't. So she said, go sit down. So then the manager walks over and she takes a wide tooth comb and she starts going to town. That was the second red flag. So, and I'm just sitting here and she's just combing my hair, and I'm just hearing my hair snapping and snapping and snapping, and I didn't get up. I still didn't get up. It was only when she put my hair in the bowl, and again, I don't wash my hair in just one fell swoop. I have to wash it in sections, so I would expect a hairdresser to know the exact same thing. So she puts me in the bowl and she just starts going to town again. At that point, I was like, you know what? Before I go bald, let me get up. I got up. I said, listen, I will pay you for your time. I said, but this is going no further. I can't. It was made very clear to me that you did not know what you were doing. I called you and I asked you, do you do natural hair? Is that your clientele base? And she said, well, yeah, of course, we do natural hair all the time. When I got there, it was made very clear that they did not. And that is what prompted me to do even more research. Like, okay, well, if I do ever want to wear my hair straight, how am I going to do that? That's when I got on YouTube again and I started looking, and that's when I was introduced to the flat iron. That was my first setback. So I made that vow. I said, you know what? No one is touching my hair. So then in 2017, I had my second setback. So I'm full on work mode. Again, if you don't know, I'm an independent adjuster. So typically when I go out on storms, I'm working 7 days a week, 7 to 7. Probably I would say at least for a good 3 months. And at that time, my hair was long. It was still thriving, but I was also working 7 days a week, and I was also working out 5 days a week. Didn't really leave much time for hair care. So I would just leave it up in like one of those big buns that you normally see me wear, and I wouldn't take it out. I wouldn't take it down. I wouldn't moisturize it. I wouldn't do any of that. So of course, what's going to happen? Your hair is going to break off. So I go on a break. So I would probably say this is 2018. I said, okay, I'm going to have to cut my hair. I cut about a good 5 inches off. And then that's when I started, of course, again, doing research, talking about hair textures, hair porosity, and all of that. And that's when I started learning the actual texture of my hair and what I need to do to make sure that my hair is moisturized and that I can retain my length. And that's really what has led here today. We did the impromptu length check. I addressed, the mixed or black issue. And that's really where I am today. But I like to tell my story, and I promise the next time I do this video, I will have more photos. But I like to tell my story, number one, because it can be an inspiration to someone. And in the pictures, like I said, just through my story, and you see how long my hair is now, you see that if you do the research, if you take care of your hair, if you feel blessed, or if you are happy with what you have, the man upstairs will bless you with more. You just have to, be happy about it. You always see these photos of, these girls with this long, gorgeous hair, and it's typically someone who's not African American. But you can get there. And that's why I like telling my story, because it's possible. Again, being 100% black, it's possible. You don't see someone like me every single day, but it's possible. And I'm just here to tell you it's possible. I love my natural hair. I would never go back. I would never, ever, ever get a relaxer again. If David and I do have a daughter, she will not get a relaxer while she is in my house. She will be able to make that decision when she gets older. Because I also don't miss sitting at the hairdresser for hours on end on a Saturday. Now, yes, it does take me hours to do my hair, but number one, I find it actually very therapeutic. And number two, I'm at home. I don't have to sit in a hair salon with, other women. I'm not there for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours, sitting under the hair dryer, having my hair fried. I will say this, it is a personal choice. Not every single woman, who has a relaxer wants to be natural, and that's fine. I just feel like right now there is a movement going on, and I feel like we need to embrace it as black women. You are beautiful just the way you are. You are beautiful with the hair on your head that the man upstairs gave you. And if I can get one person today, or when you watch this video, to realize that, then my job is done. I did convince a couple of my friends to go natural, and they will tell you the same thing, that they would never go back to using a relaxer. So that is really my story. I just kind of wanted to give you a spiel. I did leave out bits and pieces, but if you do have any questions, you can leave them down below. Here on YouTube, I do upload videos every Wednesday and Sunday. And then, of course, right here, I'll put my Instagram handle. Thank you so much for watching, y'all. Bye.